Yeah,
live.
keep tapping that screen while you're sharing that live. Michelle, what is happening, friend?
Not the screen. Tap Tony's nose. Tap his nose.
Speaking of the man of the hour.
Let's see if we can we get to the FYP today? I'd like to get to the FYP.
Let's get to the FYP. I think
We'll
that
get to
that
the
would
FYP.
be cool.
Yeah, we get.
It's been a while.
It has. And that's funny you said the same thing I said.
I'm telling you, man. Same wavelength. You take your vitamin yet?
I did. I took all my vitamins today, and I gotta tell you, I'm still on my lemon drop mocktails from ProCare. They're bomb. That's all there is to it. You know, I like the fact that they're not like all sticky and mushy in the wrapper. And that's big for me, because it sticks, and then you find yourself with other brands where you're like pulling the stickiness off the wrapper, and you're trying to stick the rest of the. It's just no. So it's ProCare for me, bro. BMN 10, link in the bio. Hey, we were just talking about that interview you had, Ryan.
Yeah.
It was fire.
It was good.
Loved it.
I feel like it was a lot of information to throw at people, but I felt like it was good.
Yeah, you got it all out, though.
Yeah.
Was there more that you wanted to share?
Yeah, that I usually take an hour and a half for that presentation. So like to condense it was difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's questions and stuff like that, so.
And I couldn't answer. I couldn't see the questions when I was doing it because I was doing all of it from my phone. I was trying to do it on the iPad.
There was a lot, and there were a lot of people answering questions in there. I know they were looking for some of your perspective and stuff, but there were a lot of people answering each other in there. Just like in a regular live like this. There was a lot of people in there. Yeah, that was great. There was a lot of interaction.
Honestly, that I would say pretty much surprised me. Hey, Barry Mom.
It's a great platform.
Yeah.
Thank you
Definitely
very
was
much.
cool to connect.
Yes, it's always cool. Don't forget, make sure you stay hydrated and bring your water.
Josh Styles, welcome to the live. Everybody, don't forget, Sunday, make sure you tune in to VSG Bestie. Talk Barry to me, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific. Like VSG Bestie has said in the comments, please tap, 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 tap on Tony's forehead. Let's make that FYP today. Share the live.
Hold on.
Let's get it going.
I have a very large forehead, so, make sure you tap that forehead.
You can't miss it.
I don't know, I gotta put the hat on, I gotta get the gleam off.
So yeah, we get to bring up Jamie to the live and talk about his 408-pound, I think I'm right, thus far, weight loss and his amazing journey. Is there anything you all want to add to that before we bring this man up?
So actually, before we add to Jamie's amazing story, I just want to add one amazing thing that we have going on for ourselves. So I'm going to make the announcement for us. Is this April, the three of us will be at JBY presenting. Which I'm really excited. This was something that I think I've been talking about behind the scenes for months upon months, even before they announced where it was going to be and when it was going to be. This was one of the things that I saw last year that I was like, I need to be a part of this. This thing is so amazing. Yeah. If I could have ever dreamt it up, it wouldn't happen the way it's happened. So again, just more things that are happening for this platform as we continually push forward. Nothing I ever thought was ever going to happen. Just couldn't imagine it. And these are all great things. And I'm so excited to be a part of something that's so much bigger than just myself and this platform itself. It's all about the community. And that's what we do is we celebrate the community. We celebrate the males in this community, but we also celebrate all our sisters out there in the community as well.
Yeah, and speaking of sisters, we got something brewing. You all stay tuned. Stay tuned. We got something brewing. So,
Yes.
with
Brewing
that
like
being
good old
said,
soup.
yeah, yeah.
Boiling at the surface. All right.
So what's up? Where's Jamie at? Let's get him up here.
Let's bring him up.
Mr. 408 pounds so far.
All right.
I
there it
mean,
is.
seriously? Seriously, man?
And this is Jamie. What's happening?
What's going on?
Yeah. And,
Hey, you know, like
I mean,
you like the NBA with Jerry West, where he's got the, that's his signature thing with the NBA. You
Yeah.
know, well, this is Jamie right here. This is that signature whole.
It really could be. It's really amazing. And Jamie, we had you up on our live. I mean, you've been up on a few of our panels. We've had you up, but we had you on exclusively with AJ and with Pug. You know, when we started to do our, we had a whole series just trying to connect Pounds of Connection. You know, with people within the weight loss community, and. Like, I feel like just from that point in your journey to now, you've made like an amazing like transformation just from that point, which is just crazy. So I like just amazing. I can't like tell you how much you inspire everyone in this community just by sharing your journey.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Well, something happened today. Actually, I was on my live today, and I got up and started to cook. I started to show people around, and I stood up in front of my picture, and everybody was like, "Oh my god!" Because like it's just, I guess, a different perspective. Because I was actually standing next to my picture, and I take pictures like that, but like people like screenshotted it and sent it to me all day today. It was really crazy. But yeah, it's been great to share because it's been like therapy for me. Like just sharing it, from just starting with the GLPs, working through the surgery, and it just sharing it and just like I always needed hope, and like I don't feel like there's time, at 715 pounds you don't have a lot of hope. Like you want to believe that you can do it, right? But like but that's what I want to be, that guy. It's either showing somebody who's really big that they can do it, or somebody that's doesn't is half my size to start with, but the struggle's the same. They just happen to not be as unfortunate as I was to be 715 pounds. So because I recognize that somebody can feel just as hopeless at 300 pounds as I did at 715 pounds, and that's the part that's like not lost on me at all. And I've achieved a lot for myself, but like that's my whole thing is like, I'm not any better than anybody else as far as, weight loss goes. I just happen to be bigger, and that's what I like to, that's the bottom line.
Well, that's the good perspective, is that, again, like it's such a thing for people to compare themselves in this journey. Again, I was 425 pounds. Does that mean that my hope wasn't like any more desperate than like where you were when you were at your heaviest? And losing 179 pounds, I mean, it's when I got to my lowest and stuff, yet there's still that accomplishment that you've done something. The reward is being able to do things that you weren't able to do physically, and how you didn't, and how you feel. I mean, that's the reward. It's not comparing yourself to other people saying, well, he lost more weight. But yeah, some of us have to lose more weight than others. So there are going to be greater numbers. There could be smaller numbers. But those numbers don't dictate how you feel, how you move. That's the NSV. That's the win. Yeah. It's not the number on the scale that matters. It's the NSVs that show the victory, and where you want to be able to do things in life. These are the things that you're able to do in life. My goal wasn't to be like, I want to be able to stand on the scale and it's going to be 200 pounds or 250 pounds. No, my goal was to be able to run around and be able to go up the stairs and throw a football around with my kids, and those are the things that we want to do, and that's where people, shouldn't worry about comparing themselves in their journey. It's what they're able to do with if they can go for a hike, go for a walk, go for a bike ride. Those are the things that matter.
It's true, and it's the little things like today. This morning, my wife booked us a hotel. Right. First of all, being morbidly obese is more expensive at some point, but being 400 pounds lighter is more expensive. All right. So she just booked a hotel for us to go to in New York City. We're taking the girls to New York City, my 3 girls to New York City, Christmas time to see New York City. And you know what? 2 years ago, not a possibility. Even a year ago, not a possibility. And to be able to go with my kids to the city, be able to fly on an airplane and sit, with just with my 2 kids in and out thing, and not have to worry, about fitting in the plane, doing anything, going in an Uber, a hotel, where am I going to sit? What am I going to do? The experience that I'm going to have with my kids, that, we've been very limited on anything that we've done, that's, of any kind of stuff, because I'm just not capable of doing it. But now, there's zero issues, no concern. I'm just barely over 300 pounds. I'm a 6'2", and it's like a whole different world. And I'm at a weight that I haven't been at since when I was in culinary school. Thank you for that. I was 1996. Right now I'm at 1996 weight for me, and I'm 48 years old.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
And that's the kind of thing. It's like, through this whole journey, the thing that's derailed me in the past was always, what if I just stayed with it, the last time I lost 70 pounds, or what if I stayed with it the last time I did 50 pounds? And that would always, when you slowed up the weight loss, and this was even prior to surgery, that was always what derailed me.
And see, that's what I'm talking about, Jamie. It's like, I'm sitting here thinking, we've had this conversation with Ryan before, because he's come from a very heavy weight as well. But it's that whole psychological thing. It's something that I will never experience. I've lost 128 pounds, and I'm beyond my goal weight. And we say don't compare, because we never want to do that. But I'm just thinking in my head, the first thing I think about is, what did he go through mentally and emotionally and preparing to lose 408 plus pounds? You're still at it. How do you get grounded enough in a mental state with your life, all the things that you're going through, sacrifices, those things? It really puts things into perspective, and just really shows how hard you're working. Not to underestimate or throw shade on anyone who, like myself, has lost just 128 pounds. I'm just saying,
not just 128 pounds.
Okay, someone has just lost 128 pounds, but just man, you did it 3 times.
Yeah, it's starting to become it's starting to be overwhelming for me. Just the thought of it. It's because you don't realize how much you adapt to your morbid obesity as you go along. How much you adapt your life, and how much my family has adapted their life to my morbid obesity. My kids, my kids don't have to help me put my shoes on anymore. And not like they complain to do it, or not that I, was embarrassed to ask them to do it. It was just a necessity, and just the little things like that, and just how your whole life adapts. And now coming back, I don't remember a lot of stuff physically that I did at the weight I'm at now. I know that I know that when I was 330 pounds, I skied when I was in culinary school. I was much younger. At 330, I was pretty active, you know? And now I'm 22 pounds lighter than that. And, you know, the only bad thing is I'm also, you know, 20 something years older, you know? So,
Yeah.
you know, there's stuff there that's it. But it's really, you know, we talk a lot about the non-scale victories, and, you know, and that's, you know, the bottom line is when you're regaining your life back, you know, the mental part of it, you know, is you kind of got to stay away from mourning all the stuff that you've lost along the way. You know what, you know, and it's like, and that's why, you know, I had the surgery a year ago, and we should probably tell a few people because there's a few people that don't know my story here. Like, so I started July 2022. I was on meds, and I lost 234 pounds on meds alone, and that's what got me into the frame of mind to have the surgery, because I didn't want it to be less morbidly obese. I wanted to be like 240 pounds, you know?
So you did do the meds first and then the surgery.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the meds, you know, first of all, when at 700 pounds, you can't have surgery. It's not a thing. So did I need to lose as much weight as I did to have surgery? No, I could have had surgery, you know, probably in the fives, but not nearly as safe as I did when getting down to 480 to have surgery, you know. But there, you know, there's so much, like, you know, I look back and I just try not to, you know, because I see, and one of the things that's interesting is because I'm a big proponent of surgery, because, you know, the surgery, you know, as great as the meds were for me, you know, the surgery is the icing on the cake.
A tool you needed.
You know.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a tool you needed?
1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, I wouldn't have gotten here without the meds. So the thing that I kind of look like, you kind of look back and say, you know what, you know, if these meds were available 20 years ago for me, how different my life could have been. You know, if I could have, if say I was still the surgery, you know, knowing what I know, would have still been the right thing for me. But if I could have taken the meds to get me in the right place to have the surgery, you know, I wonder, I couldn't even tell you what my life could have been like. You know how much of my life, you know, and I don't think you know, I wouldn't change, you know, anything that's gone on in my life. I mean, you know, I'm blessed. I have 4 beautiful children, you know, a lot of amazing things. But like, the fact is that there's certain things that, like, you can't, it's hard not to go back and say, you know, what if, and you kind of, I'm at the point where I'm kind of like mourning that 20 years of my life that I lost. And I don't blame myself. There was a lot, like, not like I didn't try to lose weight so many times, you know? But, you know, and even this last time, it took, you know, when you're 715 pounds, it took that first 200 pounds before I truly believed that I could do it, you know? And I sat here in August, September, October of 2022. Like, you could go pull my lives in there. I sat here and look at my background, and I said, I'm going to lose 400 plus pounds. I'm going to lose 450 pounds, you know? So, and I changed either 400 plus or 450 plus. Well, I've already lost, and now I've lost 400 plus pounds. Like, it's one thing to sit here, you know, 2 years ago and hope for it. And then it's another thing to like do it. Like, it's like, it's, you know, it's a great thing, but it's like, it is a thing, you know. It's like, oh my God, like, you know, and I feel proud. Because, you know, it's not easy to sit there and say you're going to lose 50 pounds, you know, and do it, you know. And when I share my story, it's like, the one thing is, you know, it's 25 months I've committed to this right now. And it's like, and it's just basically 25 months of the rest. I consider it 25 months of the rest of my life. Like, that's how I've approached it, because I feel like the type of obesity that I have and the way I feel like I was, like, there's no end to me. Like, and that's why I think I'm in such the right frame of mind to who have really, I honestly have changed my life. I've changed my thought. I've changed the way I live. And like, I have a goal weight in my mind, but it's not like I can get there and it ends. There's no, that's why it hit me real hard, your conversation last week, like the hall pass thing.
Yeah.
It's not a thing for me. It's not a thing for me because, you know what? Like, for 40 years of my 48 years, like,
Yeah.
like I can't, like, I have to, there's no celebrating anything with me. Like,
Yeah.
there's no, like, I went to Las Vegas in the end of July. You know what? The first thing I did when I got to the hotel is I Uber Eats four tubs of cottage cheese to my hotel. You know what? Like, I live and eat and do what I do. Like, I'm not on a diet. This is my life, and I really believe that, like, for me, it's the only way it can happen. Like, I have to know, like, I'm gonna go to New York next month, right? You know what? I'm gonna eat eggs and bacon and some sausage for breakfast, and I'm gonna eat a cottage cheese for lunch, and I'm gonna bring a protein drinks for me to eat. And you know what? When I eat lunch, I'm gonna eat, meat and maybe a little bit of vegetables. And when I have dinner, I'm gonna and that's it. Like, that's just what I do. It's how I eat.
Jamie, how does the family take that? Like, do you still cook for them just, on a regular diet, whatever?
Yeah, I was out. I was on live today. I showed my pantry. I showed my freezer, and that's where the preparation for my surgery, I think, has made the best of me. I have 5 loaves of bread on the freaking counter. You know what? I have no desire to even touch it.
Have you seen Jamie meal prep?
Yeah, I make pasta.
No. Hey, hit that music. Turn that music on.
That I never eat.
All right. Alexa, stop music.
So you don't even entertain protein pasta or any of that?
No, nothing. Now today in my lunch, I used some hearts of palm rice. But that's just, that's hearts of palm. It's a vegetable. It just happens to look like a rice. But for me, and I think I will evolve certain ways in the future. But I feel for myself, like, there's, that whether you're on the meds, whether you have surgery, whatever you do, there's an active part of your weight loss journey, right? And I will not compromise one day that I couldn't continue to lose weight for a decision about eating food. So I have in my mind non-negotiables of stuff that I have no interest in ever eating again. And then there's a list of stuff that, when I'm at a healthy weight for myself and I'm comfortable in the decisions that I make for food, there's some stuff that I'll add back in because I feel like they are stuff for a good, healthy, well-rounded diet for myself. But it's something that could be a slippery slope for me right now. And I'm okay. I'm just okay without it.
So let me ask you something, because I see you can't lose over 400 pounds without having some level of discipline. And you're very disciplined. And I've sat in on your lives, and sometimes I might be sitting in the background too. But I do hear you talk about being disciplined and not allowing yourself, those things that you may have craved or loved to eat in the past. But I've sat in on your lives where you meal prep, and you meal prep religiously on your platform. Yeah. And that's something that I've never been able to do is meal prep out days. I can meal prep for the day before, and I do that every single day, and I've done that since the beginning of my journey. But that takes a level of discipline too, is to make sure that you're going to have, this is what you're going to eat, and you're portioning it out. And that's amazing to me, is
yes,
that level of.
But I don't do it to a point where I'm totally committed. I leave myself a lot of flexibility. So I don't think, so that way it's not like a diet for me. You know what? So what I'll do is I'll take chicken breast, right? And I'll cut it up. And I'll marinate it 3 different ways. And then, so that part's ready. And then, so when I decide to eat it, maybe I'll throw it in the air fryer. Maybe I'll grill it. Maybe I'll saute it. Then I'll throw, maybe I'll throw a vegetable with it. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll make a sauce. Maybe I won't. But what for me is it just makes it stops you from making the wrong choices a lot.
Yeah.
And even as much as not so much meal prepping for myself, I meal prep stuff for the girls and my wife. So it frees up the time for me to focus a little bit more on my food, and making my stuff, because I'm a chef by trade, so it all comes a little bit easier to me anyway. But it's a blessing and a curse. So like I've never once, unless it was some kind of casserole type thing, I don't prep a whole meal of anything. But I do a lot of different stuff to make it easier. So if you have little bits of stuff, there's the key for me, and it's the key for my family. I'll roast some vegetables for the kids. I'll cut vegetables. I'll marinate meats for the kids, for myself. I'll cook pasta for them. I'll cook rice for them. It doesn't take a lot of work. It just takes it takes a little bit of thought. Mm-hmm. It doesn't take a lot of work. It takes a little bit, but it's a lot easier to take 2 hours on one day and set yourself up for a solid 4 days than to spend an hour and a half each day. Right. Aaron and I's ingredient prep, exactly. And that I think is the key. But it's also just having a plan and not leaving it open for too much interpretation all the time, because you have to recognize what your downfall is and what your failure is. Mine was, I could have healthy food in the house or stuff that I wanted to eat in the house, and I still would go out and get $50 in dry food, So like, that's why I talk about the meds and the surgeries. You still have free will. Like, that's why they say, oh, you know what, you're cheating. You had surgery, you had medicine. Like, my surgery doesn't stop me from putting a piece of cake in my mouth. What stops me from putting a piece of cake in my mouth? My mind. My dedication to what I'm doing. And that's what I say to everybody. And the fact that I probably could get really ill now post-surgery. But I'm saying, at some point, you're using these tools, but you're a grown adult, and you know what? At some point, like, I decided, I needed the tools, like 1,000%. I needed the medication. I needed the surgery. You know what? But everything else, I feel like, I've taken responsibility of. I own it, and for me, owning it means I just cannot. There's no missteps for me. And that's a personal thing, because a lot of people, I'm a firm believer. If you have an off day of eating, you definitely got to just get back on the horse and go and start over next day. That's 1,000% what you need to do. For me, there's no misstep. Like, there's not a oh, I had a piece of cake today. I ate 3,000 calories over my. This is not a thing for me. And you know what? Maybe somebody will be right. Maybe one day I just self-explode. But you know what? I don't think so, because I'm pretty sure that after 25 months, pretty much what I do. We're not talking about 6 weeks. We're not talking about 6 months. I haven't eaten one piece of bread, one sugar, one piece of fruit in 2 years. I don't care. I've made myself know I don't care. And you know what? That's not a message for everybody. That's there's a small group of people that I know that do anything remotely as extreme that I do. But you know what? I was 715 pounds. You know what? That takes. You know what? It's a different plan for me, and I've accepted that. And you know what? I don't care what anybody thinks about the sustainability of what I do, or the fact that, you can do this in moderation, or you had the surgery, so you don't have to diet. All that shit is great for you. For me, I enjoy. First of all, I don't. There's only few meals that I even enjoy eating anymore, which is a whole other thing. Being a chef is bizarre, but I want to be alive. I want to live. I want to do stuff. I want to see my kids get married. I don't need to be eating a piece of bread. What's more important to me, my life or the piece of bread? I don't have the mentality. I don't have, I've proven to myself, I was 715 pounds. I've proven that, the other way didn't work for me, and it wasn't until I got the mental clarity, I think, from the medication really helped me. I built the way I wanted to eat. And that's the thing I feel like is before you have surgery, before you start the meds, figure out the way of eating that you think you want to live, and then use the tools to achieve it. Because that's, I feel, where my success came from, because I knew that I never wanted to eat sugar and carbohydrates again. And once I realized that, when I stopped eating fake sugar and I started the meds, I all of a sudden had the superpower to do it, and now with the surgery, then I searched out the right surgery to have that was going to make me be able to eat the same way I ate this whole time, but even less. And I was like, okay, sign me up, because I had mentally prepared myself to eat the way I wanted to eat anyway. So now I eat the exact same way I did prior to surgery, except the volume is cut even more down.
So I got two questions for you. The first question is, are you still a chef? One. And
No.
two, you're not.
I'm a stay-at-home dad.
But would you still do it?
You know what? Oh, so hold on. Let me go on another tangent here, because this is a big part of my journey.
Okay.
Which I am super, super blessed for.
Yeah.
I have spent 25 months on this journey not working. And I know that there is not very many people that can be blessed enough to do that, but I'm blessed enough to have set up my life, and my wife works, and she makes it, and we live in a way that, I've been able to stay home with my three girls, and I don't discount the fact that was a huge factor in, I would say, the first year of my success. The first year of my success, all I was doing is focusing on my weight loss and what I was doing food-wise and meds and everything like that. And I think it was a huge thing for me, and I don't discount that at all. If there was one thing that made this journey easier, that was it.
Yeah, and I definitely want to dig a little bit more deep into that before we let you off of here in the next half hour, ladies and gentlemen. It is halftime, 8:30. Drink your water if you got them. Water check. I had all my water I needed today. I just ate less than 30 minutes ago, so I can't drink any water right now. But don't forget
we'll let it slide.
We'll let it slide. 27,004 likes. That is amazing, you all. Tapping the screen like you love somebody. We appreciate it. Thanks for sharing this live. We appreciate Jamie coming to join us every Sunday. Don't forget to join in with VSG Bestie on Talk Bari to Me, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every Sunday, tune in with her. And also, Bariatric Retreat. It's coming up quick, y'all. November 7th to the 10th at Paradise Point in San Diego, California. We have a link in the bio, BME. If you tap that link, $50 off your ticket from here on out. Tony and I, Ryan, we're all going to be there. VSG Bestie's going to be there. We got a men's panel, a fashion show going on. I'm looking forward to strutting my stuff in the fashion show. But lots of keynote speakers are going to be there. It's going to be a good time, and we'd love to have you all join us for sure.
Whole lot of stuff going on. Don't forget, we are also presenting at JBY this April. Coming up, we will be presenting at the JBY award ceremony. So that's going to be another great thing we have on our plate. So we encourage everyone to come check that out. If you haven't seen JBY, go over to the JBY site or go over to see OSLP, Our Sleeve Life podcast. They have scenes from the last JBY. It was just amazing. I watched it. It was just something that's like, I need to go there. I need to be a part of it, whether I'm like in the show or actually just present. I just want to be a part of that and
because
to actually be a member of it.
Yeah, it's just not the show either. It's like a meetup. They got it set
It
up
is.
like a
It's
big
it's a
meetup.
big, huge meetup. It is,
Yeah.
exactly. It's a big, huge meetup that everyone gets to interact with each other, whether you're a content creator or just just someone that just watches all the content that's pushed out either on this platform or even on Instagram, Facebook. Like it's everyone in the community that's going to be there, and it honors everyone and it celebrates everyone in the community. It doesn't matter like where you are in your journey or what you do or what
Doesn't
platform
matter
you're
how
on.
many followers you got. Doesn't matter.
Exactly. They don't discriminate against that. It's just a big giant celebration, which is something that we have tried to promote and be a part of. From the very beginning of this platform and just in our personal journeys.
Yeah. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, it is. I'm excited. I can't wait. April, and that's my birthday month, so that's my birthday present to myself.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, again, thanks for tapping the screen, all the love, the likes, the consistent support you all give us here, and
So-
we'll get back to what's up. What were you gonna say?
No, I have a question for Jamie.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, like, we'll get back on track now. So, Jamie talks about being a chef. So, I'm not a chef by trade. I have worked in the kitchens, but like some of my fondest memories of me cooking, like growing up, and with my parents and stuff, and just cooking in general, like cooking for my family or just cooking for friends, is me standing at the stove or standing at my at a smoker and just cooking something that everyone loves. But the thing that I used to do the most, especially if I made a Sunday sauce, if you're Italian, making a Sunday sauce all day, you sit there and you're like, gotta taste it, gotta test it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I would have like full box of Ritz crackers. That would be how I would taste it. I would dip, take a test. And I would go through an entire like half a box or almost a full box of Ritz crackers, just tasting the sauce all day. So you're eating the entire day. You're probably not eating the best things to try it with, whether it's a piece of bread or whatever. But you talk about not doing this for like 2 years. At any point when are you looking to go back to work, and what are your expectations, or what do you feel like your challenges may be that you're going forward with that?
I honestly, I worked as a chef. I worked in fine dining. I worked in a hotel. I worked in a country club. I worked for Wolfgang Puck Casual Dining. I worked, I was a working chef. I was an executive chef. I don't think I could go back to doing it in for many reasons in the way. To be honest with you, from 500, I would say from 550 to 700 pounds was stress due to the work and having physical problems due to work and going from, I would say, 500 to 650 pounds while working, 80 hours, 90 hours a week. As far as the food goes, now there's certain things like I will, like I got it out of, like I used to, for the first year, every once in a while, like I'd be cooking pasta for the girl and I would, see if it was done. I'd put it in my mouth and then really quickly I'd spit it out, and now I don't do it anymore. Like now I consciously, it's like second nature. I know I'm not putting it in my mouth.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, I don't want to be in an environment where I have to eat and taste stuff that I inherently don't want to eat, And it's, there's certain things that you could always chew and spit out, but there's a lot of stuff that like I don't want to do. So there needs to be a real evaluation of what I want to do. So I feel like I think I want to do stuff, maybe something related to it. And I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I guess if I had to, if I had to take a job to do it, I guess I'd figure out a way. But it couldn't be like that. And to be honest with you, it's hard because, I didn't, when you're working as a chef in a hotel or restaurant and stuff, you're not eating you're not eating all day. That's not a thing. I gained the weight because I wouldn't eat all day. Then I'd go have a couple of beers, then get drive-through at 2:00 in the morning, and then wake up, not eat again, go to work 10 hours, drink soda, not eat, then go have a couple of drinks, eat crappy stuff in the middle of the night, and repeat. And that's why, people talk about a calorie deficit and stuff, and, all you have to do is be in a calorie deficit. I can honestly tell you that I probably gained, there was a point where I gained probably 150 pounds, and there's no possible way that I was eating more calories than I truly needed to sustain my body. And it's just, there's so many more factors that go into it. What you're eating, when you're eating, how you're eating it, all that kind of stuff. And it's just, going back to the short answer is, I don't think so. If I had to do it, to pay the bills or whatever, and I had, yes, but I would ideally, when I go back into some kind of workforce, it needs to be something related or doing something where I'm cooking food that I will eat. Which is a whole other thing.
So I gotta bring something up, and I know how you talk, Jamie. So I wanted to make sure we had enough time to touch on it because it's been working on me this whole interview with you, and I wanted the best time to bring this up. I think the last time when I reached out to you, you were on your live, and I was asking you if you could come on this live and share your story with us. And at that time, I think you were I don't know, maybe 5 pounds heavier last week. And you said, I don't know why you guys would want me to come up there. And let me finish. I don't know why you guys would want me up there, but okay. I mean, I know I can't talk. I can't talk a lot, this, that, and the other. And we've been talking, Tony, myself, and Ryan, we've been talking about having you up over the past 3 weeks, and you just keep losing weight. We just haven't had a chance to get you up. But the biggest thing is that I really would like to hear you touch on a few things in the next 20 minutes. I would like to hear about and I'm sure the rest of us would love to hear how this all started, where it began, right? And then it's with that being said, when I sit in the background and watch your lives, just like Tony said, sometimes I sit from behind the scenes, the FYP, and I'm watching your lives. And I'm watching you, man, and sometimes your daughters come up and they're messing with you during your lives. Man, you lost 406 pounds. You saved your life. Those girls, they're just so happy with you, man. And I'm just, I don't know what goes on in your house. That's your business. I'm watching you on a live. And to see you interact with your girls, that to me is you completely saved your life. You've also probably saved their lives as well, mentally and emotionally.
Yeah.
And it's so important, and it touches me so much to see you share your life with your girls, probably more than you ever thought you could imagine you could. What are those feelings like, man? Because I know you think about it. I know you think about, you could be dead now, and they couldn't have a father.
For sure.
And I need you to know before you go on your rant, I need you to know that, not just speaking for myself, I'm sure I can speak for the other 31 people and those of the people in the FYP watching. that you do so much for this community,
Yeah.
more than you ever know. And like, not just for what you have done for your own family and your own home, saving your own life, but the people that you reach with the words that you say and how you present yourself, and that big step from 715 pounds down 408 pounds right now, it gives people hope.
Yes.
It lets them know that it's achievable. If that guy could do it, I can do it. You are so important to us in this community, Jamie. We love you, man. We appreciate everything you bring to this community. We thank you for what you say, do. Now you can have the stage.
I appreciate it. You know, you know, my kids are at Walton, my wife is at Walton, and it's, you know, it's so much because, like, you know, at 715 pounds, like I needed a walker to get from my couch to the bathroom. You know, so at that point, like, it was either, you know, like you said, like, there's a good chance that if I hadn't have started the journey that I did at the time I did, that, like, either I would be bedbound right now or I wouldn't be here. You know, this is 2 years ago. It's very likely that I wouldn't be here. And it's like, you know, you know, nobody wants to be a burden on their family. Nobody wants to have their kids, you know, like, as 10-year-olds, you know, potentially bury their dad. And, you know, so that's a big part of it. But you still have to be ready. You have to be able to do it for yourself too. You know, you have to be ready to do it yourself. And they said, you know, I think the thing is, I found the tools that I needed, and I'm utilizing the tools, because I'm not naive to think that, you know, I failed many times on my own, but it's the, you know, it's the fact that, you know what, at some point, you know, you have to want to accept the help and make the changes, you know. And it's hard. Like, it's hard every day. It's hard. And, you know, the main thing for me is like, it's like, there's only, that's why I'm so strict with the food, is because, like, I don't want, like, I need to keep moving forward. Like, little things with my kids, like, I have three girls, so it's kind of hard with the food wise, because, like, you know, you don't want to put that, like, that body image, that stuff on your girls, you know, because that's like a slippery slope. And, you know, my parents, you know, were very supportive of me throughout my whole childhood and for my adulthood, and only wanted the best for me, you know, and never harped on my weight. But my dad and my mom were always like, Jamie, you know, we love you, but, you know, kind of thing. And now with my girls, it's like, they definitely, you know, 10 and a half years old, they get it, you know, they see what I don't eat and why I don't eat it. And they eat certain things, and they eat all the stuff that I don't eat, but they recognize the importance of the protein and the vegetables and the other stuff. So I don't push that kind of stuff on them about what I don't eat, but they do pick up the stuff that I do, and I think it makes a difference for them. My kids came to me today. Was it today or yesterday? They said, Daddy, remember that bubbly that you had that had no sugar and it has the, you know, because I used to drink the flavored water with no sugar, just has flavor in before surgery. It's like, they got flavored water at school. It's got 17 grams of sugar in it. I was like, what? First of all, kudos to look at the label, you know? And then I'm thinking, why you got, you know, I'm like, well, they might as well serve you soda at that point, you know? So, like, that kind of thing, it's just like, you know what, you know, if they recognize that the food, you know, there's no bad food or no food, but just recognize what the food is about, because they are genetically exposed to being morbidly obese. My wife was obese. I was, you know, super morbidly obese. Those kids have a better chance of being, you know, obese than not, you know. So it's important that they see it, they understand, and they see the struggles that I went with, and you know what, and recognize that, you know what, the food cannot be the center of the universe, and not put any other kind of disordered eating or anything on them, but they need to recognize that the food cannot be the reason for anything. And like I said, I'm not very strict with them as far as the food. We just lead with the good stuff and taper off with the other stuff, and hopefully that balance will work for them. But it's definitely something where they recognize it. They know what I don't eat. They know why I don't eat. They recognize it, and my kids all the time, like I'll walk out of the back bedroom without a shirt on, and one of the girls, Charlotte, will be like, "Daddy, your shoulders look so thin." It's like, and it's like, so they know, and it's like, they weren't ashamed of me, like but they've had friends. There was one friend that was actually, that said, "How's your dad fit in that car that he's at?" And and it was just one comment, and it's like, my heart hurts for that, but I taught them well enough that they would never say anything about a person's physical nature, what color the skin is, what anything. So they know better that that's just not something to say about anybody. And so now, like, to the point where the girl's dad, I'm pretty sure the girl's dad who said that to me probably weighs more than I do right now. And, and I'm like, and then so jokingly, my kids know my sense of humor, and I would like, ask, I'd be like, ask what's the name, how's your dad doing on the diet? Kind of like, take a little shot, because it's like, because it's wrong. It's like, like they're and their family, the mom's always on a diet. The girl's on like ADH meds, so she doesn't eat. So she's like the skinniest girl in their grade, and they see that stuff too. And it's just like, I think that I hope that my kids, are just good people, and by seeing me change physically and not change anything, that I'm the same person, that makes a difference to them. And that's what's most important to me. And becomes a teaching thing when they tell me that their friend said this, and I'm just like, well, like you recognize that that's like something you should never say about anybody. Like it's not, and that's all you can do is raise your kids right? Like that's all you can do. So I hope that gives you enough of the answer that you're looking for.
No. So you talk a lot about like just the support you get at home right now from your family, from your girls, from your wife and everything. And it looks like they've taken on like aspects of your journey, to go with you and stuff. And there are benefits to that. Can you talk about a little bit in detail just the support you get within the community? Because you have not only the bariatric community, but you also have the GLP-1 community that you are also part of, and you are also a big part of with them as well. Can you talk about the support that you get from them?
It's really, from the beginning, and there's probably a dozen of them in here now that are chatting with me, on the daily, and it's become like therapy, and there's times where I needed somebody to say, I was stalled, and just the encouragement from the people, and just as much the listening, the people listening to, to listen to your complaint, and to listen to you, and to listen to the good stuff, and to cheer you on, and that's why I'm super cognizant of what I say and how I say it, because like I always want to be 100% supportive to everybody that's helped me, and everybody everybody knew, and knowing that like there's it's everybody struggles, and there's all the time, and I'm in the discords, and I'm on my lives, I'm in other people's lives, and the fact that like they could, they'll be struggling to lose, to lose a pound, but yet they're the first people to cheer me on for losing 7-8 pounds, and I recognize that sometimes that's not easy, even though my journey is completely different. The fact that somebody who's losing, a half a pound a month, can be so appreciative of me sharing my story and so happy for me and my success that like I just really want to share that back. And that's like the whole thing is like that's why like when I go live, all I want to do is have more new people to meet all the great people that are in there already.
Yeah.
Because it's like I like to do, like I'll do a roll call of weight loss in the thing, and it'll be like 70 pounds, 80 pounds, 90 pounds, 100 pounds, 150 pounds, 250 pounds, 300 pounds, and depending on who comes in, it's like I'll bring somebody, I could bring like 3 people, like Aaron will come on. Like I brought Aaron on this, like, so it'll be me, Aaron, and one other person. All of a sudden there's 1,100 pounds of weight loss on the screen. And like, that's like, oh my God. And it's like, and like I said, when I started, like, I honestly don't believe that like my weight loss is no more important than somebody who weighed 180 pounds and lost, 40 pounds and now is 140 pounds. Like it's no more significant because I know how hard it is to lose the percentage of the weight that I did. And my whole purpose of sharing my journey is that, so somebody say, what, this guy, look at that guy. He can, if he can do it, I can do it. If that's what, and that's what I did. I talk about before I started walking, and now I can walk like 3+ miles at a clip. I wasn't walking on the treadmill. I wasn't going walking. And then I saw Timmy on TikTok walking on the treadmill. Timmy has no friggin' legs. And Timmy's walking on the goddamn treadmill. I said, okay, I got no excuse. So you know what? You see me at 715 pounds and I lost 400 pounds and you're there crying because you have 200 pounds to lose. Well, you know what? You could have been me and had 450 pounds to lose. So you know what? Take something that you only have 200 pounds to lose and own it, And that's it. Woe is me. I woed me for a long time. And you know what? I was 715 pounds. It took me a couple of months on this platform before I even said how much I weighed. I was talking about my weight loss, but I didn't lead with I started at 715 because that's a tough pill to swallow. I think I was down like 60 pounds before I said where I started. And now at this point, like, there's power to me in owning it. It's like, you know what?
Yeah.
And now, like, I share on my regular Facebook group. There's new people in my neighborhood that, like, I share my TikToks and my IG posts publicly on Facebook. So I know there's my new neighbors have seen my shit and know that I was 700 pounds, and I don't care. And it took a long time to get to that point because you know what? Maybe. And who knows who comes across it and who can benefit by seeing it. And I struggled for a long time. I'm 48 years old. It took me from, I graduated culinary school at 330 pounds in 1997. And July 14th of 2022, I was 715 pounds. And now today, I'm 307.4. And it's a ton of weight, and it's not easy. And I preface that all the time. There's a lot of things that made it easier, but like I said, you guys know, like you had the surgery. What's the only thing stopping you from putting food and drink and stuff that you want in your mouth is you.
Yeah.
Right?
Plastics, Jamie, you doing it?
I have to.
Yeah.
I have to. My like that. I have about 50 more ish, 50, 60 more that I really want to lose. but like my thighs have thighs, and my stomach area, like this kind of stuff's not gonna happen. My arms, like I don't really care about that.
Yeah.
Even my chest area, like I don't care. Like I don't like. You know what? I wore at 700 pounds. You know, I'd go to the beach without a shirt on. So you know what? If I go to the beach with my skin coming out, I don't give it. You know, I really don't care. But physically, like the legs, like I try to walk. Like I said, one of you guys were watching. I was on the treadmill, and I was like, you know, I go like at some point, like you start hearing your body parts slap around.
Yeah.
Like that's enough.
Yep.
You know, like,
Is it
you know,
painful? Is it painful for you, Jamie?
It's uncomfortable, and it is painful. And also the problem is like my waist is what, probably 4 or 5 inches bigger than it could be. That's the part. That's the part that gets me. That's the part.
Yes.
Like, and talking about size. So in this picture here, I was wearing a size 8X plus shirt. It was 8X stretched out. You know, I'm wearing a 2XLT now. You know, I walk. You know, I don't own a belt. I own one belt, and it's 27 inches too long. So I was at Sam's Club the other day, and I grabbed the belt off the thing, and it was a 2X belt, and I'm like, it fits. You know, and it's like that kind of stuff is like, oh my God. And like, I honestly, I don't remember wearing a 2X. Like I remember my chef coat from culinary school was a 3X. And it's still, I go out to eat. I go look at the restaurant booth. No way I could fit there. And I sit down and I'm like, oh shit. You know, that's the kind of stuff. I was in the car today. I had an itch on my foot. I could reach down and itch the top of my foot with my seatbelt on in the front seat of my car, driving. Like little stuff like that. Like you don't think about stuff, and people that haven't been super morbidly obese don't recognize. You know, like, you know, wiping your ass. You know what? I've always been able to wipe my ass because I'll do it by any means because I'm a clean person. But you know what? Like I can wipe my opposite butt cheek now. Like I can reach all the way around.
You
like,
can watch. You can pat yourself on the left butt cheek with
Yeah.
your right
Like
hand.
little shit like that. It's like, oh, you know, like what is it? You know, putting on your shoes and socks. You know, like stupid stuff like that. Like I like now. Real quick, because I know we're almost up against time. So a year into my journey, 120 pounds into my journey, I fell in my living room. Okay, I'd lost 120 pounds. You know, I sat there and cried before I made the TikTok because the TikTok was funny. But like I sit there and cried because like you know I had lost 120 pounds and I still could not get my ass off the ground. You know, a couple of weeks ago I dropped the remote and it flew underneath the bed, and I'm like, what do I do? So you know what? I put a pillow down because my knees suck. So I put a pillow down to put my knee on. I got on my stomach. I reached under the bed, grabbed the remote, jumped up in like 3 seconds off the floor. And I'm like, You know, it's like little stuff like that. Like you don't even realize that you could do it until you do it again.
Yeah.
You know,
It's crazy. You get yourself down into a catcher's position, like you're behind the plate of, and it's you're like, oh my God, I can do this, and I'm like, I'm not screaming right now.
Yeah, and you know, I went to a celebration of life a few weeks ago, and it was in a place that it was hot. I'm wearing jeans and a shirt, and not sweating. You know, I'm not like. You know, all the little things that you don't realize that get better. And that's the stuff, you know what? That's the stuff that motivates me to say, you know what? Okay, I don't care what I don't eat. Yeah. You know what? I don't care what I don't eat. I eat quality. You know, I'm eating quality over quantity anyway because I don't have room for it anymore. And you know what? What am I going to relish as a chef? You know, what's more important? That beautiful prime piece of filet mignon or the 99-cent piece of potato? Mm-hmm. Which is really better? Which is more fun? I'm not talking better calorie-wise. I'm not talking anything. You know what? Why do I want to eat that 99-cent potato instead of eating that $20 a pound filet mignon?
Yeah.
Why? Because sugar and carbohydrates are addictive, and that's the way I'm going to leave that.
And I was just getting ready to say at this moment, this is where we would say if you have any last thoughts, but this man had some last thoughts through the whole daggone interview. You know,
And
point
there
blank.
there goes the mic drop.
You knew what you were getting.
408 pounds.
And that's why we had you.
And plus to go.
Thank you.
And
I
doing
appreciate you guys so much.
And doing it.
Hey,
No, we
you know,
appreciate you, Jay.
Yeah,
really.
this is a way for us to be able to, to celebrate you and celebrate your journey and tell you how proud we are of you and just how much you're inspiring everyone in this community and to continue doing it, continue sharing.
And with all that being said, and you being busy with your own lives when you go live, man, I mean, you continuously always show up for us as well, and we appreciate you for that here and in the Slack. You know, we have that men's Slack group.
That's it, man. That's such a great thing, and having last time a couple weeks ago there was a dozen guys in there, and really to have those guys the stuff that we can't talk about here that we all agree on is that's the aha moment of this whole thing, and that's and I think that's a thing that if you're on here and you're a guy and you join it because the things that we talk about it's everybody gets it, and it's nothing all the experiences that you had it kind of validates it how you feel about just in general. I think one thing I can share too, because it wasn't nothing specific. We started talking about how everybody about ordering food, or driving through food and talking about that, and just everybody has agreed with the same thing, and and the shame that that goes along with that, and just being able to hey, what, we all did it. It was all a thing, and it's all and everybody gets it, and that's the best part about the Bari male experience is really, it's good. We have the support. I think it's good how you have the support of the ladies because, we support all of that. But having those extra conversations with just the guys, I didn't, to be honest with you, I didn't think that was something for me, but being involved in it, I'm it hits differently. And it really is important, and I think it's really good.
Yeah. Hey, I want to bring a couple guys up here real quick. Famous, can you come up real quick, man?
Oh,
hey,
he's
Jason,
coming up.
Jason, are you still in here, man? Can you come up real quick? Any other guys out here that wouldn't mind coming up on a live real quick? Can you come up real quick? I'd appreciate it. I just wanted to get you guys up here. Because I just, we're over our time, but I mean, this brother of ours, man, has lost 408 pounds so far, and I just really want him to know how much we appreciate him as a brother in this community, and what he does for us in our own personal journeys, and how important it is. That he has lost 408 pounds, and if you guys can share, what your feelings are about that, we would truly appreciate that. Starting with Big E.
For me, dude, it's truly inspiring. Like I said, I was a big dude myself. I wasn't.
You muted yourself.
Yeah, you muted yourself.
Pounds, so see that. To see what's possible is truly inspiring. It shows that I can keep on pushing my way through and still lose this weight. Like I said, I still got another 50 pounds to go to my goal weight. So hearing you speak and
I appreciate it.
keep on getting gold. But yeah, just truly inspiring to me.
What about you, Famous?
First of all, I appreciate you sharing your story. Definitely make sure you stay in the good work. You know what I'm saying? I know I heard you saying that, I ain't got no room for errors and stuff like that. If I will say that I shout out to you if you can do it. I think for most of us, it's unrealistic to think that you can go from your old habits, even through the process, and be great all of the time. If that is your story, I love you for that. I respect it. But I don't tell people, what I say is, if you fall off the wagon for whatever meal, Don't even sweat it. Start over the next meal. Don't
That's
wait
why
till
I
the
prefaced
next
it when
day.
I said it, because I know I am so far out there, like as not the norm, and I preface everything I say with me. This is me because like I recognize how ridiculous I am with a lot of stuff, but like it's just the only way I can do it.
Yeah, I feel it. You know, I tend to be an extremist sometimes and stuff like that too, but definitely stay encouraged. You know, amazing job on the weight loss. We appreciate you being a part of the community. And you know, hey, your story is our story. So you
Yes.
definitely you got friends and brothers here. We've all walked the same walk, talked the same talk. And you know, this is a dope ass community where you know you got people of every shade under the rainbow, every height, stature, short, fat, all that stuff. We all here, man. I mean, this is just a dope ass place. You know, I come here for the guidance. You know, there's love and peace in here. There's therapy in here. This is a great platform that has a lot of resources. So definitely thank you for coming and sharing your story with us. And it's nice to have you here, brother.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
What about you, Jason?
Man, Jamie and I have been, kicking it on here for a good minute. And, he and I have talked about a lot of things. And, I'm always inspired by his ability to do not only what he does, but how he does it, how he comes about it, his consistency, and not only his journey, but his passion for the community across not only the bariatric space, but people that are on their, natural weight loss journey and the GLP-1 community. Like he spreads his love across, equal playing fields. Because, as one of the things we found out on this journey is everybody needs assistance at one point in time or another. Everybody needs the support.
Yes.
Everybody needs to hear something from somebody who's been there. And, I say a lot of the times it's the difference between sympathy and empathy. You can have empathy for somebody and feel real bad for something they're going through, but if you've never been through it, you can't be empathetic to what they did. So it's the difference in having that empathy in the journey that you're going through that sometimes can connect with somebody in such a way that they not only did they not know they needed, but it's going to be something that may get them through that day or get them back on track tomorrow, however that may work. So, he's one of the people that actually got me being as consistent in posting and doing the things that I've been doing. And, I give him shit sometimes about his militance, him being so militant on his thing. But at the same time, like he and I have talked about at length, the fact that he can do it is fantastic for him. Like, and I'm super proud of him for being able to do that. But like Famous said, like, I know there's a lot of people that aren't going to be able to do that, but I've never seen him. I've always seen him cheer on people in no matter how they can do it. He's not one of those people that says, well, this is how I do it. And if you don't do it how I like to do it, then get on, take the train and get the hell out of my face. He's still there to support regardless. He just lets you know, and he always prefaces the fact that that is how he's able to do it.
Yes.
So I've always respected the hell out of him for that, and I'm just glad to have him as part of the community. Appreciate it.
You want to close us out, Tony, or you got something to
so-
say?
No, Jamie, again, actually, for all of you on this panel,
Yes.
Famous, we go back from the very beginning. You were part of that first circle that I was part of, and you helped me early on in my journey. So, again, I appreciate everything you've always done for me. Jason, I don't think I can say enough about you and Bari Nation and everything you've done for us, not only just in my personal journey, but for us as a platform and what you do for the men in the community. Biggie, again, like I said in a previous live, I feel like you popped on the scene and you basically kicked the door down into the bariatric community and you've made your presence known. Keep doing what you're doing, inspiring people. And Jamie, again, like there's not enough things I can say about you and how much you inspire everyone in this community. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep sharing what you're sharing. And I can't wait to see you when you actually match this whole silhouette.
Yeah.
So you'll get there, man.
Okay.
You're well on your way, brother.
Hell yeah. Hey, thanks for joining us on the panel. Thank you all for 51,000 likes. That's incredible. We love y'all for your continuous support for the Bari Male Experience. We'll see you in San Diego November 7th through the 10th.
Through the 10th.
Looking forward to it for Bariatric Retreat. Much love. Check out VSG Bestie Talk Barry to Me, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sundays. And again, thank you all again. We'll catch y'all on the flip side next Tuesday. Jamie, thanks, man.
I appreciate all of you.
Peace.
Love. It's so.
So.
Have a good night, everyone.